Hello and welcome to this first video in our Kinetic Platform training series. My name is Derick Larson and I'm one of the support and training folks here at Kinetic Data. In this series we're going to be looking at the Kinetic Platform, which is a system that we use to build applications or solutions that are composed of a front-end form builder paired up with a back-end workflow process builder. So we're actually looking at one of our solutions here that we call Kinetic, and I encourage everyone to click on the link in the upper right hand corner of your community article and get your own Kinetic instance. We'll be using that throughout the class. And what we see here is what the customer would look at from the Kinetic side of things. So we would like to transition to at least to start with, the front end form builder. To do that, we'll start with services here. Click on Home. Down at the bottom, click on Settings, and then also, again, click on the Kinetic Platform Admin. Now I've got that open here in a new tab. So what you'll see when this first opens is that it comes to what we call a space. A space is the biggest container that we have in the Kinetic Platform, and it encompasses all of the Kinetic apps and the workflow processes. So when we say a Kinetic app, those are specific Kinetic Applications, or Kapps, that are used in the solution. So for example, Kinetic has a queue cap, which is used for fulfillment and tasks. And then the one we'll be looking at most is the services cap. And this is where we create all of the forms that our customer is going to take a look at. So for example, here's the list of forms. And for the class, the story that we'll be working on, or our objective, will be to take this general facilities request, let's click on it here, and change it into a more specific cleaning request. So we can see there's information about the form right here. We can take a look here at the builder at where all of the questions and the text and the sections and the pages, all of the different pieces that we'll add to a form during the class. One other thing I want to mention real quickly is something called a data store form. Data store forms is something that we use to contain internal information that's used during our solutions. So for example, approvers or notification data or people data or assets, things like that. So the second piece of this, the workflow process, is all done here through the global workflow link. Let's see, and I've got this open here in a new tab. And so it's really divided up into two different sections. So there's the trees and routines, and these are processes that are created, visual representations of the process in a builder, and then runs, triggers, and errors. These are what happens when one of those processes is run, or we look at all of the data that happens after a submission. So let's take a look at one just real quickly here. So here's a good example, the account password reset. If I open that one up in its own builder, we can see the tree structure. So you start from the start node here. We have connectors between all of our nodes. We have the options to put qualifications on those connectors. So we go different branches if we would like. And then here the nodes each represent some kind of task. This one is the send reset password link. And I can see here, okay, here's the email template that I'm going to use. And here's some data that's from within the tree itself, a result of another node, and different data that was passed to the tree itself. And we'll talk a lot more about that as we get our way through the class. So we're going to be looking at, in the next video, updating one of our forms and changing that general request into a more specific one here within our services cap. And so I encourage you, before you look at that video, to get your own Kinetic instance so that you can follow along directly if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in the next video.